They drafted Nick Martin to replace Dre Greenlaw, but they also have Dee Winters, who's been here for a few years. Robert Saleh has never coached him before. It's third year on the team. People always hype him up in the offseason. He's doing great. He's a good athlete. Saleh talked today, and they asked him what he thought about Dee Winters. One of those layups, one of those softballs, like, say something nice about Dee Winters. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell in this part of the offseason because there really aren't like true run pass keys and you kind of know what's coming. And it's like, oh, okay. So seems to me that Saleh, who was a former linebackers coach, knows what he's looking at and is going to be a little bit more discerning than the rest of us when it comes to his linebacker competition. I wouldn't count out Nick Martin just yet. Like, Saleh really likes him. And Dee Winters, I don't know was that a nice way of saying that, like, yeah, he's a good athlete, but he doesn't always know where to go?
Yeah, I think more so he's struggling a little bit here, but like, let's wait for more opportunities. Maybe he'll surprise me in training camp because he wasn't here when the Niners drafted him. Steve Wilkes was the guy. So I was obviously a Shanahan / coaching / that scouting staff pick. And it's the 6th round guy. So they have no attachment to him. It's not like he's shown enough for you guys to really be so like in love with him either. And honestly, when Saleh says that's very telling because he's not a guy who just gives praise to give praise. That's one thing I've noticed about him since 2019 when he was on the board. Like, I still remember a time where first year in the beat, he's talking about like, I believe Jimmy Ward is one of our top 10 players on defense. And I was like, are you kidding? Jimmy Ward, who's been injured every year, has barely flashes. And then Jimmy Ward came back healthy from his finger, I think. And he started balling. And I was like, oh my gosh, Saleh was telling us something. And so ever since then, like, and that wasn't his only instance, but that's the one that stands out to me since 2019 is when he's giving praise, he's not fluffing. And if he's doing this, like you just said, when he had the easy avenue to probably just say something, I just don't think he has a lying bone in his body. He's and I think that's why his players love him so much, because he just gives that authentic energy that gives everything's just so genuine, so wholesome, and so real that he's not going to like BS you. And so I think this answer says like, we'll just see. We'll just see. Cause right now it's not looking good.
Well, let me give you the full quote. So the question was, what have been your impressions of Dee Winters in the spring period? He goes, he's been impressive. Again, it's easy when it's OTAs and you're not having to deal with run pass reads and everything's a little bit slower, but he's got something to him. I don't want to jinx him or anything, but if he stays on this trajectory and he attacks these next 40 days and he does things the right way, I think he's due for a heck of a season. So that was a nice thing to say, but he did sort of like,
he's behind,
couch it with that, like, it's kind of easy right now. It's kind of slow right now. And I've seen his film and I know what was holding him back in the past. So he hasn't really cleared his final hurdle yet.
The key phrase for me there was when he says those 40 days, because why they have a break, because all these it's like when they have the exit interviews from the regular season, they're gonna tell these players like, we saw what you want, we saw where you improved, we saw what you didn't, and in these next 40 days, we want to see you, I don't know, get stronger. We want to see you know how to attack the run. I don't know. It's something, it's like a trade or two. They're not going to overload them. It's like, and by the time training camp comes, cool, you got better at that. Now here's some more. Here's about 3 more. Here's about 2 more for you to start getting better on, where you just hit him. So I think that's
the bonus tracks.
Exactly. So I think that's where Saleh is pretty much saying like, it's kind of like dragging right now. But if he does what I kind of have some ideas what he can be good at, but if he hits these things that I want him to hit in these next 40 days and comes back to camp and it's like, cool, he did it, or he's about there, then it's like, all right, now I got something to work with. But if he doesn't, whatever that could be, yeah, he's probably looking at no better than a base defense linebacker.
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code COHN, COHN, and download the app now. I think we've seen from Winters in the past, he's flashed in OTAs before. I think Fred Warner called him the best player in OTAs last year. Yep, but during games, he's been a little inconsistent. He's very, very fast, but I think he can get out of position sometimes because he's a see ball, get ball guy, and sometimes I don't think he necessarily sees it right. And that's why they brought in Nick Martin, who's a 3rd round pick. They're heavily invested in Nick Martin, and if Dee Winters keeps doing that same stuff in preseason that he was doing last year, where he like misses a run fit or he bites really hard on a play action fake, and Nick Martin just happens to not be doing that stuff with the second team, he'll be starting. It's way
Honestly,
sooner.
even if Nick Martin does something like similar but not as bad, they're still gonna go Nick Martin because why?
Yeah.
Salah's the one that advocated for him, and when you're a guy that's been
Also,
advocated, you're gonna be favored.
I feel like they give these players numbers, like visioning like how they're gonna like be on the field. 45 next to 54. It's kind of like it's made to be. Although Winters is 53, 53 and 54 could work out too. So I don't know. You know what? Now that I think about it that way,
Nick Martin's 45.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta get him.
I think it's such a weird number, but I feel like they gave it to him because, like, well, you could play next to 54. Think about it.
Plus, it's just like here's the numbers until we get cuts, and then you can change.